Ramaji, I wanted to ask you, we often talk about the soul choosing its journey, right, in life, and for specific lessons that it wants to learn. So what is the connection between the soul and the karmic gods that decide what karma we are going to face in life?
This is a very, very, very deep question. And so let me try to answer it. So when you say soul, depending on which philosophy we are sort of subscribe to, let us look at the impulses a person has. Impulses means vasanas, right? You understand vasanas, right? Which means my impressions, my latent impressions, that which sponsors my thoughts and decisions, my belief system, all that is vasanas, right? And that is actually fed by our past lives. So since we are all Hindus, I think we'll use Hindus' philosophy to do that. And so let us assume a soul to be, say, a seed, and then it is covered by all these things, which are latent impressions. And of course, the karma has a major role to play in our external circumstances and to some extent our inner responses. Okay, so all these is you call it conditioning. All that is clothed in this. The soul is clothed with all that. So until I realize that spiritually that I am not this body, I am not this prana, I am not this manos, I am not the vijnanamaya, which is my intellect. And I am something beyond all that. I can't escape all this as a part of a definition of the soul. When I say jiva or a soul, I am a bound soul, isn't it? I am a conditioned soul. So karma, conditioning, vasanas, all that is a part of me until I become realized, right? And so the karma is a part of the soul, and the karma decides all these meandering, serendipitous way in which our life is progressing and uncovering, right? And by some stroke of fortune, which is the part of our past karma, to put it intellectually, when I look at it emotionally, I will call it grace. But now to talk very rationally, because of some positive karma of my past, I have been given an opportunity to look at life differently. It can be through a book to start with. It can be through an inspiring speaker to start with. And finally, it culminates in my guru who is going to light or rather dispel the darkness of my ignorance so that I realize who I am, I realize who Bhagavan is and my relationship with Bhagavan, which is called jnana. Okay. And so that's where karma only finally finds, makes us find our way to a feet of a satsang or a guru, etc. And it is the karma which decided what type of a profession I choose or what type of an attitude I have towards life. To a major portion, it is all vasanas, which is, a part of this entire complex of karma, vasana, swabhava, etc. Yeah. So now, when the soul is ready, what happens is this karma pushes us into a satsanga or pushes us into a wonderful company of a realized master. And then we start actually seeing through life properly. They say na siddhanjanam yoginam, the anjan, guru krupa anjana bolte hai na. So because of the krupa of that master, which is also, we were thrown or rather pushed to the actual, can I say, sanidhya or the presence of a master. Karma does that. Beyond that, the flowering of jnana, flowering of love, flowering of vairagya, etc., karma doesn't do. It is done by the infinite grace of a master. So when we say krupa, krupa, actually it is true because karma cannot extinguish itself. So complete extinguishing of karma is jnana. It can't do itself. Ego cannot destroy itself. We cannot extinguish ego on our own accord. Something beyond us, which is in the plane of consciousness, can only swallow that ego. And we call that in three ways. One is God, one is our own Atma Swarupa, and third is Guru. And that's why in Dakshinamurti Stotra, very beautifully, our Adishankara Bhagavad Pada equates all these things in the plane of consciousness. Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Nama Idam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. So here he is saying the Sishya, his real self is consciousness, and he is approaching a guru whose real self is consciousness, and both of them are worshipping Dakshinamurti, a deity whose real self is also consciousness, and a guru Krupa completely dawns on the Sishya to make him realize that as consciousness there is no Veda at all. You see? And so that final step where the soul realizes itself by the grace of a guru, whether it is Dakshinamurti or our own guru who has taken a physical form in our life, is the final culminating step. So finally, all the karma, all the vasanas meandering in our life, somehow in one birth has to culminate there. And after that, the purpose of karma is done. And that is the reason why people who have tremendous love for the guru don't talk karma at all. Because karma has taken me up to the portals of Guru's Krupa. After that, a Guru Bhakta would never ever talk punyam papam. After that, a Guru Bhakta realizes the karma's purpose is done. And from now on, my life is guided by the divine touch or a divine grace, or the name you can give, Krupa or Kataksham or Karuna or compassion. And so a Guru Bhakta would realize that karma has been a great help in pushing that Bhakta to the portals of consciousness. Guru Dwar. Guru Dwar. After that, it is the Krupa which is taking over my life. And then for that person, gratitude, come what may, becomes very easy. Because the resistance is far lesser. And the faith and the tremendous Vishwasam in the Guru and Bhagavan charting my life, mostly through my intellect, but at times beyond it also, becomes so rooted that gratitude becomes easy, come what may around. And I'll tell you the extreme effect. I won't tell that to novices or starting level people, because you are all well established in Satsang. Our Narada Maharshi's life in Bhagavatam gives something very shocking, which is shocking to a normal person, but a Guru Bhakta can understand it. He has a doting mother whose entire universe revolved around Narada Maharshi, and she lived her life for Narada Maharshi. Narada Maharshi was 5 years old. She was just a servant maid, and she pushed him into a satsanga, and Narada Maharshi became a very mature person because of Sadhu Krupa. And very shortly after sadhus left the village, his mother dies out of a snake bite. And you know what shocking verse is there in Bhagavatam? Anugraham manyamanaha. Our Narada Maharshi thought it is Bhagavan's anugraha that now my mother has finally attained the feet of Bhagavan. How can a normal person even come in terms with such a word in Bhagavatam? But when you understand that the whole life we have been hypnotized to think is only about body, 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 but actually the soul, which you very beautifully asked in the question, transcends the body, then this makes sense. That the soul of my mother, which was trapped in the body, which was a cage, which was a prison, and she led a very not so happy life in this body. And because she had a sadhu sangha and she did sadhu seva, Bhagavan has finally relieved her from the distress of being trapped in the body and taken in his feet. And now he is also relieving me from being in this village so that I can also find my soul's journey to the feet of Bhagavan. And so he saw the whole thing as Anugraham Anyamanaha, which a normal person will find it offensive, but a Bhagavata can understand the real import, because the belief system of a Bhagavata is a little more advanced, if I can use the term, than a person who is normal and who has not understood the deeper aspects of, say, spirituality. You get what I'm saying? So, Bhagavan has certainly charted our life, no doubt about it. He charts it through the hand of karma, swabhava, and kalam. So, unless we see the hidden hand, the puppeteer who is running this world with the 3 strings of karma, karma means you all know, papa, punya, our own past actions. Swabhava is our innate nature, which we have accrued over so many births. And swabhava can be sattvikam or tamasam or rajasam, you know, right? And then kalam, time. I understand that Bhagavan uses these 3 strings to play this wonderful puppet show of my life, your life, life of the universe and all that. And then when I come into a satsanga, I stop seeing the strings. I start seeing the puppeteer and understand that the movement of these three strings is done by Bhagavan. So instead of individually looking at the three strings of karma, kala, swabhava, I look at the movement of a puppeteer and call it grace. So when I say grace, I am not denying karma, I am not denying kala, I am not denying swabhava. I am just going beyond to understand the one who actually animates this inanimate three agencies of the universe, and I look at them and then I call it by the name grace. So when Ramana Bhagavan says it is the grace which is running your life, my life, etc., he is seeing beyond these three practical strings of kala, karma, swabhava. He sees that which is beyond, which is consciousness, and hence say that it is Bhagavan who runs your life, it is Bhagavan who runs my life. You have no absolute independence at all. You are dependent only on all this. When he says all that, he means that great savant, this great Maharshi, the great sage says, he is seeing something beyond what a normal mind can see. And hence his language is different.
Thank you so much, Ramuji. Those three strings thing really just explained a lot. And
string theory.
Yeah, the string theory.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Yeah, so that explained a lot. But what it also sort of highlighted now with your talk is the fact that these three strings are pulled again purely for our evolution. Absolutely. And again, there's very the gratitude that we need. Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. I think that's something I missed to say. Thank you for completing it.
Thank you so much.